Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today I'll be continuing What If Naruto Had God of Destruction Key, and without further ado, let's just get right into today's video. This part with obviously everybody on the council in the Leaf Village, kind of fucking shocked. Like, where'd you find Danzo? We've been looking for him for a few days. We know he did some fucked up shit. It's just nobody has been able to capture him because all the Leaf Village elders that actually liked him were still alive. But now since most of them are dead or in hiding, they can go and basically capture, all the people that they know for a fact have done really shady shit, right? But as this is all going on, Shikamaru walks into the room because I forgot he was kind of supposed to be Naruto's like side guy in this one. My bad. So Shikamaru walks into the room and he looks and he sees Danzo and he sees Naruto and he looks over at Lee and he looks at Lee and Lee looks at him and he's like, "What the fuck happened?" Right? And right, he's like, "I was gone for like 2 days. For 2 days, I expected nothing to happen, and I come back, and this is what I find." Right? And at this point, Lee, Hinata, and Shikamaru leave the room. Like they're arguing amongst themselves because Lee was supposed to stop Naruto from doing anything outrageous, and Hinata was supposed to, remind Lee, but neither of them did their fucking job because both of them are terrified of Naruto at this present moment in time, right? But Shikamaru doesn't care. You were supposed to stop this, right? And anyway, yeah, so that's what's going on between them three. So we flash back. We're gonna go back to the office. So Naruto basically tosses a whole bunch of fucking papers on the he tosses a bunch of papers to people, and like as the people grab, like as everybody start grabbing the papers and they're reading off all the stuff, like all the research and the assignments and all this other shit. Naruto, like people are starting to like get mad, like actively, like you can see it in their face. Some people disgusted that they even assumed that this man was a good person, because you gotta remember, this is a council, so it's not just people that Naruto know, so that way they wouldn't just be extremely biased to what Naruto was doing. There's also people who didn't necessarily like Naruto, but was willing to hear him out. There were also people who still kind of supported Danzo. They just didn't know what the fuck he was doing, right? But even like right after seeing what he was doing throughout just all of his little career, they're disgusted, right? So now they're looking at him like, bro, why? Why would you be out here doing this, right? And Danzo tells him, it's for the security of the Leaf Village, and the Leaf Village people are getting sauce and all this other stuff, right? And Jiraiya, being like one of the bigger influences in the council, he kind of like he silences everybody, and he's like, all right, so we're gonna put it to a vote. Who wants to make it to where everybody knows, like everybody in the Leaf Village, right? And Danzo in his head, like, how am I supposed to get out of this, right? And Naruto, like, he's just standing there, like he's just standing there. He's just enjoying this whole little conversation. He just wanted to see what they were gonna do, right? And after a while, one of them say, nah, we can just execute him, and then tell everybody later. And Naruto, he chimes in. He's like, I know I brought him in. I handed y'all the papers and some more stuff, like how I'm supposed to, right? But why not tell everybody and then let them decide, right? Let them decide on all the shady shit he's done. Because then if they decide and they want him dead, they can't blame y'all, right? And at this, like, as Naruto tells this to them, like some of the people, like they burst out, like, what do you mean? The council can't make decisions for the Leaf Village? We ain't been a council for very long, but that don't mean we just can't make decisions altogether. And Naruto looks at him, he's like, no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying is that most people still like Danzo, and if you just outright kill him and then tell them why you killed him later, they're gonna think that you just killed him because you can, and then you couldn't find any dirt on him, so you made dirt, right? And like Jiraiya, he's like, that's not a half bad thought. Like, we also gotta think, people are paranoid, right? So Jiraiya again puts it up to a vote, and everybody kind of agrees. It's like two people that don't agree, but that's because they were just mad at the fact that they misunderstood what Naruto was trying to say. Yeah, so a few hours pass, and like every other person in the Leaf Village has basically been gathered, and they're kind of confused as to what the fuck is going on, right? But they see, after a while, they see Danzo come out, and he's like in cuffs and all this other extra stuff, and that arm that was always bandaged is gone. So that's interesting, right? And after a while, everybody kind of gets settled, and Jiraiya begins. He's like, we're gonna begin listing off crimes, and everybody in the crowd like, crimes for Danzo? What? Right? And there's a few ninja that got that ink style shit, so they made a few copies of the paper, and they basically start handing it out. And there are bigger, ways you could look at it. All this other stuff, right? Basically, it's a mass announcement. So after a while, they give the people time to look, and like as they're talking over what he's done to clarify, like this is actual shit that I forgot his name. Danzo has done, right? People that like normally support him, they mad. Like I let my kid join the Anbu Black Ops, right? So Jiraiya was like, I'd like to ask a question, right? Because now everybody's mad, but everybody kind of still respects Jiraiya, and the council had the good enough will to actually tell these people about it. So hell, they're gonna see what Jiraiya gotta say, and Jiraiya tells them, y'all can decide what should we do with him, right? And for a few moments, it's silence, and in the next few, there's mass imprisonment, like screams all through, like imprison them, kill them, exile them, all that other extra good stuff, right? But one of the Hyuga elders, not the main branch elder, one of the Hyuga people, he stood out. He's pretty big, a little old to be that, big. He says, then just take his chakra away, right? And like to people after, like, it only gains traction because most Hyuga members heard him, and it was just a little forbidden technique, something that Danzo himself knew about. So, yeah. Anyway, so yeah. Everybody, like, there's a few people chanting him, imprison him, kill him, exile him, and then after a few more minutes, everybody's screaming, take his chakra away. Right? Now this is hilarious to Naruto because he didn't even think of that, because chakra is like an everyday part of life. Whether you're sick, you're not sick, you cooking, you a ninja, you're not a ninja, chakra is kind of everything, right? And the Jiraiya was like, I don't even know, right? And after a while, they kind of find out who said it, and they pull him off to the side after the whole like announcement shit is done, like the crowd is dissipated. They pull him off to the side and they're like, can you perform this thing? I'm sorry if y'all were able to hear that plane. And I live directly, basically underneath an airport, kind of. Not really. It's like a few meters or miles or some odd in the other direction. It's just everybody lands in this general area. So yeah, you heard that. My bad. Yeah, and yeah. Anyway, so they pull him off to the side and they ask him. They're like, hey, can you perform this? And he's like, yeah. If I can do it properly, he won't die. And then, they like, Jiraiya asked him, like, have you done it before? He's like, only a few times. Like, I haven't, and it's been a while. And Jiraiya's like, okay, but this is what the people wanted. So, they get a few people that can actually vouch, and they're going to go out and tell people what happened to Danzo. And he gets his bending, like, not his bending, I was going to say bending. He gets his chakra taken away and then gets put in prison. And like, I don't mean put in a prison cell, like, oh, you could walk in and see him. I mean, they put him in the ground. Like, they didn't give that food. They literally said, we're going to put you down there, and when you're dead, you're dead. That's it. We're not coming down there to get you. We're not coming down there to feed you. It's literally, they put him in a fucking, like, just enough room for him to be able to stand, and put him in the ground, like, fucking 50 feet beneath it, directly in the center of the Leaf Village. So it would be close to nearly impossible for you to get down in there without anybody seeing you, right? So, and given the fact that almost everybody in the Leaf Village now hates Danzo, it's like, yeah, why would I even go over there to get him? Like, nobody likes him, and everybody just gonna end up telling the minute they see me trying to dig him up, right? Yeah. And Jiraiya, like, scratches his head. He's like, so how much time do you think he got down there? And Naruto's like, I give him like maybe 3 hours tops. He's gonna be dead. And after all of that, of course, Naruto sets his eyes on the whole Orochimaru again, which it leads him to the Akatsuki, because after, you know, he set out on his attempt to go find Orochimaru once again, he found Orochimaru currently being attacked, or he tried to attack Itachi, Sasuke's brother. Right? Now, at this point in time, Naruto know that he can't necessarily go and, attack Itachi, because he doesn't know what Sasuke wants. And Sasuke, for all he knows, wants revenge on his brother his own way. So he was like, okay, what's going on? So he flies down and he's like, hey, Itachi, let me take it from here. And Itachi, he's like, but you're the Nine Tails. And he tries to put Naruto underneath the Genjutsu, right? But of course, you can't put Tail Beast under, or Jinchurikis underneath to, I just said it, Genjutsu, and let alone somebody of Naruto's stature. So he tries, and after a while, he notices like Naruto ain't showing no type of effects toward like anything, like not even normal Jinchuriki have like this is normally this easy for them to, that's like just ignore his Genjutsu. And Naruto, it just doesn't seem to be affecting, right? So he's like, all right, I'm gonna leave him to you. And Naruto's like, that's a good choice. It's a good choice, right? And as like Itachi walks away, he's thinking like, bro, who the fuck? What happened to him? That's not the same. That's not the Nine Tails. That ain't that, okay? Right? So he goes and he Itachi a little shook. And Kisame see him. He's like, hey, what happened? Why you look like that, right? And Itachi goes and tells Kisame what just happened to him. And Kisame is now shook because Orochimaru can't get out, like, was stuck in his Genjutsu. And Kisame knows that Itachi's Genjutsu is like damn near god tier. So the fact that Naruto barely showed any type of, thing, because he just wasn't getting affected by it, like Naruto could feel the fact that he was trying to get put into a Genjutsu, but given the fact that Itachi really wasn't trying, or in that general sense, he just tried to quickly put him underneath a Genjutsu without any, preparation, it didn't really work out the way he wanted it to. So he was like, fuck it, I'm gonna take this L, I'm gonna leave. Don't feel like fighting the Nine Tails right now. I just finished, he just finished using chakra on Orochimaru. He's not gonna go and fight the whole Nine Tails that he can't even affect with Genjutsu properly yet. Anyway, so yeah, Orochimaru, he gets knocked out the Genjutsu because obviously Itachi left, and when he leaves the Genjutsu, he notices like he just left one problem to an even bigger one, right? And he looks over because of course he sees Itachi leaving, so he thinks that's it. But as he looks over, Naruto grabs him by his shirt, like by his chest, and he like flies off. Now at this point in time, Orochimaru is like, there's no fucking way Itachi is working with Naruto. There's no way, right? Because that would mean that Itachi knows I have Sasuke, and they might just all be plotting against me, right? So in his mind, Orochimaru was going through it. He's livid. He thinks when he gets out of this, he's gonna go back to his bunker and fucking kill Sasuke, right? Skip his body, skip them eyes, skip his chakra, skip all of that. You're dead, right? That's the only thing going through his mind right now. And like Naruto gets out to like the middle of nowhere, basically, like even more than what he was already before, because of course he was in Akatsuki territory, basically, kind of, not really, because they just finished doing a meeting. That's neither here nor there though, right? So Naruto, just to avoid any more Akatsuki interference, just went further away. So he picks up, he stops, and Orochimaru tries to say something, and Naruto just flings him into the floor like as hard as he can, right? And when Orochimaru hits the floor, it leaves a crater inside of another crater, and Orochimaru, after hitting the ground, is basically stuck. Like, he thought he was gonna fight. No, Naruto wasted no time, basically making him incapable of fighting, right? And Naruto, he walks over to him, he's like, so give me one good reason, right? One good reason, and I might consider letting you go, right? And at this point in time, Orochimaru, he thinking, all this information that I got, what's the one thing that he hasn't been able to do? And he's like, find a good fighter. He's like, so Naruto, what if you spare my life and I train Sasuke up to be an even better fighter than what he originally was going to be, right? And this intrigues Naruto, but not enough to spare him. So he grabs him and he begins to fly to the Leaf Village. And Orochimaru was like, so where are we going? Right? And Naruto tells him like, well, to the Leaf Village, of course. You're a criminal. Right? And at this point in time, Naruto, of course, his arrogance got the best of him when he stopped throwing him to the ground to have that little conversation, because Orochimaru during that period in time was able to get substitution off. And Naruto, like maybe a few meters away from where they just were, realizes it because like the fucking clone poofs and turns into a bunch of snakes. And Naruto gets mad, and like in the middle of the sky, you can see it. It's just like a furious purple aura spanning like 20 to 30 feet in every direction, right? So Orochimaru in this little snake form is like, I can't believe that worked. Right? And now he got like this burning rage in him, right? But at this point in time, there have been people watching. So everybody that has been a part of the Akatsuki for this, like currently, so Deidara, Kakazu, and all the, and the puppet guy, and Conan too, even Obito, they decide that this could be the perfect time to capture Naruto. He's over here by himself, right? Not realizing that Naruto just lost the one person he's been spiting basically his entire fucking life, right? So as Naruto's like skulking around the area trying to find any semblance of motion, he picks up on them. So he flies over there and he sees that it's more Akatsuki members, so he instantly assumes that they're hiding Orochimaru. He's like, where's Orochimaru? And Obito tells him, it's like this little playful tone, they don't know where he's at, but they came here to capture him. And since, they made it so easy, maybe he could just come back to their camp with them, right? And Naruto, without missing a beat, he says he's not interested, holds out his hand and fires a destruction ball, right? And of course, Conan tries to block it with some of her papers, but the papers instantly evaporate. So now, Toby, the masked man, is like, he panics. He goes intangible or whatever. He activates his and it flows through him and basically disappears the fucking rock behind him. And he's like, oh, what was that? Right? And Conan tries to tell him like that's what Orochimaru was trying to tell us in the meeting. Naruto is not right? And Conan basically tries to like encase Naruto in paper and put a seal over the paper and all this other stuff. Basically, she's trying to end the fight before it even starts, right? But as she's doing that, Naruto is just like letting it happen. He's letting it happen because at this point, he wants them to know there's no way of escape. There is none. No, right? Like none of this is gonna work. So they put him in there. Conan activates the seal, and Naruto feels a slight suppression, right? And like he can hear them talking, and Conan says, yeah, it was a seal that Orochimaru was working on for Naruto, right? Because he's seen Naruto fight a few times, and that infuriates him even more. In fact, it makes him so upset. The minute that he hears the O for Orochimaru's name, he breaks out of the paper, but he does it so smooth. It's not even like it's a burst of energy. It just quietly disintegrate, right? So as everybody's talking and looking, the papers are just slowly coming up, like peeling off and dissipating, right? But by the time everybody kind of realizes what's going on, because you got to remember, they're all moving, right? So like they're moving back to their camp. So as this is going on, Naruto, he had enough, right? Boom, he breaks out the papers. Now Kakazu, instantly realizing this is not this is not the order that they were supposed to be going in the first place, he orders just about everybody that is strong enough to leave, because there are some people there that are specifically able to fight other tailed beasts. They cannot risk getting everybody killed for one guy, right? So Conan, she's like, I can't leave, I can't leave so many of y'all to die. That won't be right on, Nagato's part, or Pain. She's, Pain. So Naruto takes that name into account, and he tells Conan, like, you better listen, because when I start, I'm getting rid of everything, right? And Conan, she takes a second look, and she grabs Toby, and at this point in time, Toby's in his mind, like, if I can change Naruto's thought process, he would be the best weapon for the Akatsuki ever, right? But as he's thinking this, he gets grabbed by Conan, by his Akatsuki, coat, and basically thrust into the air, and they start leaving. And Conan says, if we're taking anybody, if anybody else is getting away, it's gonna be us, right? So she starts flying off, and Naruto was like, she's too fucking slow, right? And at this point in time, Kakazu, he tells him like, you're worried about the wrong thing, right? And Datara, he starts making a whole bunch of clay stuff, and Kakazu does his little, I got those 4 heart things, whatever. They start fighting. Now Naruto is basically dodging and destroying almost every other thing Datara throws at him, because of course Datara is throwing explosions. He's not gonna let them explode. He's gonna destroy them, right? So after a while, Datara kind of starts running low on chakra, and the puppet guy, realizing this, he tries to make up for the difference by releasing almost all of his puppets. Now, Naruto, thinking that the spam was just now ending, seeing this massive amount of puppets, it makes him even more mad. But before we continue with the fight, people in the Leaf Village saw the slight glimmer of purple in the day, and as much as Shikamaru, Lee, and Hinata don't want to admit it, they can kind of sense Naruto. So they have to go over there to the Leaf Council and tell them Naruto's fighting somebody, and he ain't too happy, right? So of course, everybody that can mildly sense him, including Hinata, like, you got to think about it. Hinata is a sensory type ninja anyway. Like, yeah, she's good at close combat, but her eyes and stuff are good for sensory type. And then given the fact that she's slowly being changed, like her chakra is slowly turning into God Ki, when Naruto spazzes, like, Lee can sense him, yeah, but Hinata, even with not much God Ki, since she is sensory based, she's definitely more attuned than that of Lee. So she damn near immediately sensed him the minute, he began to, take Orochimaru, right? Right. So yeah, she leads the charge. That's what I'm trying to say. She leads it. She's telling them where everybody is. But as they're going, they're noticing, like, we're going in like a zigzag pattern. Like, what's going on here, right? And Hinata tries to tell him, like, I don't know how to explain this, but he's like almost everywhere, right? And when they get closer to the battlefield, they realize why. It's because Datara has basically used the last bit of his chakra on a massive amount of small little explosion birds, and the puppet guy is trying his damned hardest to keep Naruto from disintegrating him, because that's who Naruto is now pissed off at. One spammer was down and he came back, and that because we got a new spammer, right? So yeah, Jiraiya tells them, like, their main goal is to try to calm Naruto down, so try to seize anybody that clearly is in the fight. And Kakashi notices the dude with the 4 hearts in his body, and he's like, oh, I got that, right? So he activates his Chidori and he runs over there. Now at this point in time, nobody is really worried about, they weren't really thinking too much about anybody else, because all they can feel currently is this overwhelming amount of pressure from Naruto. What I'm trying to say is, the minute Kakashi got close enough to hit one of them hearts, Kakuzu just barely noticed and was able to stop Kakashi, right? So after that, like, Jiraiya tells him, everybody, like, trying to get Kakashi back, because, he got fucked up. Like, literally, he got fucked up. He got hit in the back, because of how it was the distance that he had to cover. Anyway, yeah. So Naruto, after seeing Kakashi get fucked up and, like, just realizing that everybody's there, he of course gets mad at Kakuzu, goes over there and basically disrupts all of, like, the little chakra flow that he had going on by destroying 3 of the hearts, meaning that he only has the 1 left, and it's wind style, right? Right. So now everybody's kind of fighting the one style Kakazu, or whatever the fuck his name is, Hidan and Datara, and that puppet dude. Now Hidan, throughout this whole thing, hasn't been really able to do anything, because he can't get close enough to Naruto to cut him. And even if he did, there was no guarantee after he cut him he was going to be able to stay alive long enough to lick his little blade. So when he saw other people arrive on the battlefield, he took that as a means to prove his usefulness, right? So boom, he runs over there and he starts trying to cut Lee. He tries to cut Lee, right? To get his blood, whatever, right? But as he goes over there, my boy Shikamaru grabs him with the shadows, and Lee kicks him real hard. Boom. Now, Mm. That basically continues. That's like their holo shtick. Kakazu tries to attack Lee. He gets stopped by Shikamaru, and vice versa. If he tries to attack Shikamaru, he gets stopped, of course, by Shikamaru, and then proceeds to get kicked again by Lee. And if Lee can't stop him, not Lee, if Shikamaru can't stop him with his shadows, you know, Lee will just kick him again, or somebody else will come in and help. There's a lot of them there. Anyway, so yeah, that continues, and for a hot second, Conan, like she looks back and she notices, like, okay, Datara. All right, and she notices more people got there, and she's like, wait, he had backup? Somebody like him had to have backup? Right? And at this point in time, she's not really thinking, oh, you know, we still gotta keep moving. But like, as she's standing there basically kind of feeling out the area, because she could kind of sense shit too. She's feeling out what's going on over there. She looks, and as she's looking, this little small, like, basically quarter-sized ball of destruction energy hits her in the shoulder. Right? Basically knocking them out of the sky. And like, at this point in time, like, as she gets hit, she's like, what? From this far away? And that's what happens when you move too fucking slow and you were supposed to be running. Anyway, yeah, yeah, Naruto just shot some shit at her from distance. All right, so as her and Toby hit the ground, one of the of course they're in like kind of mutual territory between the Kage, so of course this is like Akatsuki Central. Or no, yeah, I want to say they're in Mist Leaf mutual territory, some shit like that. They're in mutual territory between the Mist and another nation, another yeah, yeah. So of course, Pain appears, and Pain basically grabs Konan, throws her inside the thing because he sensed her chakra drop, and he's trying to tell off Toby, and Toby's like, "What you not understanding? That kid is a monster, right?" And Pain is trying to play it off like there's nobody that's stronger than me. Nobody understands my pain, right? And Toby, of course, being a playful dude that he is currently, he's like, you don't understand. That man didn't need to understand pain to get that shit out, right? And at this point in time, Pain sends up, one of the I want to say the summoning path, summons some of the some of the birds to try to send over there to see what the fuck's going on. But by the time they get over there, damn near everything's done. Literally almost everything. The only person that's still currently alive is a dude that had wind style. And that's because Naruto, after, shooting that little shit at Konan, basically kind of just got tired of it and dealt with Datara and the puppet dude, which only left Kakazu and I want to say, yeah, that little dude with the fucking scythe, which, as we all know, really wasn't going good for him anyway. So yeah, those two birds get destroyed, and Pain, this pisses him off because not only did his whole fucking organization basically just get downsized by four, uh, basically thousand if you count the puppet guy. That's not the point though. I'm not counting all of the puppet dudes as like all the puppet guys' puppets as Akatsuki members, because if you count that, then them niggas technically had a fucking army. That would have been terrifying. I'm just saying, like, imagine if they would have just threw that man on every other front line that they had, and he was actually like, like his puppets were extremely fucking dangerous. Like, they actually put major fucking resources in it. Ooh, that would be lethal. He would be fucking lethal if they did that. Anyway, that's not. I'm getting off topic. Yeah. So he gets mad, and he basically tells Conan, they gotta go on a small little more recruitment streak, get a hold of Itachi. We're going to go after the rest of the tail beast, like now, right? Like, we can't waste any more time. Not with people like Naruto on the horizon. And given the fact that they just basically killed off four of the Akatsuki members, and they were just now getting feared, and Naruto was able to take like four of them down with a little bit of help from from a few people from the Leaf Village, that ain't gonna do nothing but draw people to their side. Like, people that want to help, people that just want to join the Leaf Village, right? So he wants to, nip that in the butt. Can't nobody do none of that to us. We are the Akatsuki, right? All right. Anyway, this is where I'm gonna end this point off. If y'all enjoyed the video, drop a like. If you enjoyed my content, please subscribe. Anyway, this has been Shinobi. Peace.